All right, guys, championship weekend. Can't believe we've made it. Really excited. Big day tomorrow. USC, huge day. And I have 6 plays. I know you're supposed to pick the whole board, but I can't, guys. Like, quality over quantity. I'm sorry, but quality over quantity. So I have 6 plays, FCS, all of that. Let's get into it. First play, TCU money line. They're going to be in the playoff. Are they kind of fraudulent? Yes, but I do like Max Duggan. I think he's a star, and TCU is going to win the Big 12 championship, and they're going to be in the playoff. Next pick, Michigan first half, -8. I like this. I like them to be up by 2 touchdowns at halftime. Purdue, not good. Michigan is going to steamroll them. I don't care that this game is in Indianapolis. There may be more Purdue fans because Purdue's closer. It won't be like that. It's going to be, think about last year. It was literally all Michigan fans. Michigan is going to roll against Purdue. And I like them to cover the first half line, -8. Next, I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it because I said I was never going to bet them again, but I'm going to do it. Tulane, money line against UCF. They're going to get revenge against UCF. We all went down last time betting Tulane against UCF, but they're going to get their revenge and they're going to win. Tulane money line. My FCS lock, Sacramento State football. They are a wagon in the FCS. I'm going to take them to win. My FBS lock is Georgia money line in the SEC championship against LSU. Obviously, they're the team to beat. And then my last play, of course, tomorrow night, Pac-12 championship, USC money line against Utah. 1 win and we're in. College football playoff. Couldn't be more excited. And let's have a weekend.
All right, we are at championship weekend. The house is picking, so let me drop my picks. We're going to start off with the Athletic Conference Championship. Riding the green wave, Tulane money line over UCF. I like the rematch odds. I like Tulane to finish out the season hot. For the Sun Belt, I'm going 50-50. We're going to go Troy money line, Coastal Carolina +8.5. For the Conference USA Championship, I'm going to go UTSA money line. For our Match in Action Championship, Ohio +3, Toledo money line. For the ACC, we're going to go Clemson money line and UNC +8. I don't think Clemson can fall out of the season in such a low note. Let them win, but UNC is a very good team, so I'll have them cover. Kick it off for SEC, Georgia, the Bulldogs, the national championship favorites, -17.5 against LSU. Sorry, Brian Kelly. You're going up against the Bulldogs like this. I just cannot see you guys covering the 17 points. I think it's going to be Georgia in a lock. For the Big 12 championship, let's go TCU money line over Kansas State to propel them into the playoffs. Big 10 championship, we got Michigan -16.5 against Purdue. Easy lock, especially what they just did against Ohio State. My lock of the week. Shout out Gracie, shout out #FightTheFuckOn. New merch, check it out in the store. USC money line versus Utah tonight. Let's make it happen. Bring the Trojans back to the college football playoffs. And then my FCS lock, we're going to go UNH +9.5. They just ran over Fordham. I'm sorry, Basil. I don't know if they'll win this game, but against Holy Cross, I'll take the 9.5 points. So enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next week.
What's up, guys? Basil here to give you my Conference Championship Week picks, starting off with Conference USA. And here, I'm actually riding North Texas in this one over UTSA. They gave the Roadrunners a pretty good game in their first meeting, only losing 31-27. And I like their run game to put them on top in this one. So go me in green here. The Pac-12, I'm going with USC moneyline, and I'm staying away from the spread because they're weirdly awful in neutral site games. They've covered just once in their last 11 neutral site games. So take them to win, take them to make the college football playoff, but maybe avoid the spread here. In the Big 12, I'm going TCU. Got to ride with the Horned Frogs as they also really need this win to clinch a spot in the college football playoff. Caleb Williams, probably the Heisman favorite at USC, but Quentin Johnson is a killer in the Big 12 this year, and he's going to need this game really improve his NFL draft stock. He had a touchdown against Kansas State in their first meeting this season, so I think he'll want to compound on that performance and come out big again in this one. In the MAC, I'm taking Ohio +2 over Toledo. Lots of injuries in this one, especially in the quarterback department for both teams. I don't think Toledo quarterback Taquan Finn is going to be ready for this one, so I'm liking the Bobcats here. Sun Belt Championship, I love when the Chanticleers are good, but Troy is just the way more explosive offense, and I'm going to take them Trojans money line Trojans against the spread -8.5. In the American, look at the hat, roll wave, enough said. Their defense still really good, still I think the best in the conference, and I think they'll take what they learned in that loss against UCF, and as long as they can get some stops, quarterback Michael Pratt for Tulane really just has to put up a similar performance that he did in the first game against UCF. It's gonna come down to who can force the more important turnovers in this one. I think it's gonna be Tulane, and they're gonna win this one. In the Mountain West, Fresno State +3.5 is my pick here. Jake Haener has almost single-handedly got the Bulldogs out of a pretty rough season and right into the conference championship game. So, again, ride the wave, take Fresno State +3.5, ride the hype, and take the Bulldogs to win in this one. In the SEC, another Bulldogs team, this time the Georgia Bulldogs over LSU. They should not take this team lightly. I know Georgia is the favorite in almost every single respect, so this game is going to be tough. But the QB situation for LSU is just too shaky for me. I can't take them on the money line here. I would respect a pick for LSU against the spread, but I'm rolling dogs all the way here. ACC, put it shortly. This Clemson team is so weird. I don't know what to make of them. Sometimes they're really good, and then sometimes they blow a game to Carolina and Notre Dame. So I'm actually going to ride UNC +7.5. In the Big Ten, I'm not going to say that Purdue isn't good, because they are. But Michigan cannot follow up beating a top 5 offense in the country with a loss to Purdue. Rolling with Big Blue here, money line. And then for my one FCS pick, because I don't have Fordham football to, root for this time, and, Holy Cross is not impeding my Rams, I will fulfill, a familial obligation to roll with the Crusaders here and pick Holy Cross over New Hampshire for my FCS pick of the week.
What's up, everybody? Coming to you live from our nation's capital, District of Columbia. We're finally here. We made it to Conference Championship Week. Bunch of great games this weekend coming up that are going to have some big implications for bowl season following in December and for the college football playoffs. So excited to make our picks and see what happens. Just going through my slate really quick. We're going to start with the Pac-12 championship. Got USC -2.5 against Utah there. Moving on to the Conference USA Championship, we're going to take UTSA -8.5 over North Texas. Big 12, we're going to take TCU moneyline over Kansas State. In the MAC, we're taking Ohio moneyline over Toledo. Sun Belt, we have Troy over Coastal Carolina moneyline. In the SEC, we're going to take Georgia with the spread -17.5 over LSU. In the American, we're going to take the Tulane Green Wave, Roll Wave, over UCF. For the Mountain West, we're going to take Boise -3 over Fresno State. In the Big Ten, we got a lock. Michigan's hot. They're ready to go. Going into the playoffs, taking them -16.5 over Purdue. And then an upset in the ACC, we're going to take the UNC Tar Heels money line over Clemson. As for my one FCS pick, I'm going to take Holy Cross this week against UNH. Last week, I took Fordham to beat UNH in the first round of the FCS playoffs. They were unable to do so, but I'm rolling with the Crusaders this week to stay undefeated and move on. Thanks, guys, and see you next week on the show.
Getting ready for Patriots football at Gillette Stadium, I hope they don't flop against the Bills. I'm not too optimistic, but it's college football time. Conference championship week. Let's start with the Pac-12. Friday night. USC and Utah. It's a rematch. And USC's one loss has come at the hands of the Utes. I don't think they're going to let this one escape them this year. I'm going USC moneyline over Utah. USC gets him back. Caleb Williams looks better than he's looked all season long, and he's on Heisman notice, make no mistake about it. Let's go to Big 12. TCU moneyline over Kansas State. Now, earlier this year, TCU won. Kansas State had a 28-10 lead, though, and TCU came roaring back. But right now, I just think the TCU defense has been incredible, so give me a win for the Frogs. SEC, LSU's taking on Georgia. This is at a neutral site, and the spread's kind of crazy. It's minus 18 in favor of the Bulldogs. I'm taking a LSU cover and a Georgia money line pick. Listen, LSU had a fantastic win over Alabama. They had a great win over Ole Miss. Then they laid an egg against Texas A&M last week. I think it's a bad time to play Georgia with Stetson Bennett slinging touchdowns. Go Dogs, but LSU's going to cover that. The American Athletic Conference, Tulane over UCF. That's another revenge game, and I'm taking Tulane minus 3.5. Roll Wave. Defense let the Wave down the last time. That's the most points they've ever given up. They've improved, though, and I think they'll be okay. ACC time, Clemson and UNC. Now, this is an interesting one. These are both teams that are coming off bad losses. But Clemson has had a significantly better defense than UNC does. I think Clemson's offense has gradually improved over the year against some tough opponents, too. I'm a DJ Uiagalelei guy. Weird. I don't think he's as great as they thought he'd be, but I think he's just good. So I'm going to take Clemson minus 8 over UNC. Big Ten. Oh, man. This is one of the bigger spreads. Michigan minus 16.5 over Purdue, and I'm taking that. There's no stopping the Wolverines this year. I may even be sold that they'll mess around and win the national championship. That's where I'm at with Michigan right now. What a win over Ohio State last time out. Let's go into the non-Power 6 schools, I guess. Conference USA. UTSA, the Roadrunners, are taking on North Texas. Listen, I've ranked UTSA in my Football House polls. They won by 4 last time around when these two clashed. I don't think there's any stopping the Roadrunners this week. They're averaging 15 points on D over their last 3. UTSA minus 8.5. I'm taking it. Let's go to MAC. Ohio and Toledo in some action. Toledo's favored by 3. And I'm taking Ohio here. They're plus 3 underdogs at home, too. Bobcats are on a 7-game win streak. They haven't lost since October 1st. 23rd in the nation in passing yards per game with almost 300. Taking Bobcats. Roll Ohio, baby, plus 3. Sunbelt, Coastal versus Troy. Now, Coastal was one that was sort of teetering on that top 25 area as well. But Troy is just too big of a favorite at 8.5. I'm going to take Troy money line here. Coastal just got exposed by James Madison, so I think I might be on the wave that the Chanticleers stink. They just lost 47-7. Troy, on the other hand, they played some good opponents. They hung around with Ole Miss at the beginning of the year. They almost knocked off App State. And I think they're a good football team, so give me money line for Troy. Last one, Mountain West. Fresno State and Boise State. These are two teams that I really just don't know what to make of this year. I said a couple of weeks ago, actually, I think it was last week, that Fresno wasn't that great. And then they went out and wiped the floor with Wyoming. Boise State, though, they have some good losses, actually. They played good opponents, that is. Oregon State, UTEP was fine. They were sort of in the mix. And then BYU always has a decent team. What stands out to me is they crushed Fresno State a few weeks ago, 40-20. I'm taking Boise State money line here. I actually probably would consider the spread, too. Those are picks. Let's have a great week of college football.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I'm going to make this video quick. I'm currently at work. Championship week, almost at the end of the college football season. Very exciting stuff going on. I'm going to make 4 picks this week, and it's going to be in regards to the 4 teams currently in the college football playoff, which are Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and USC. So we're going to take them all in their respective championship game money line. So Georgia money line, Michigan money line, TCU money line, and USC money line. All right, guys.